What do calculators, triangles, and wagers have in common? At first glance, not much, if any at all. Attach Pascal to the front, and you have three of the most impactful discoveries in the disciplines of mathematics and philosophy. But what is this Pascal?
Blaise Pascal was born on June 19, 1623 in Clermont-Ferrand, France. His father, Etienne Pascal, was the judge of the local tax court. A mathematician himself, Etienne had the responsibility of educating Blaise, who had been dubbed a child prodigy. In 1640, at the age of just 16, Blaise had already written his essay on conics, inspired by his studies of the work of Gerard de Sargus. Addressing the writings of the French polymath Marin Mersenne, Pascal's theorem proved that given a hexagon inscribed in a circle, or conic section, the three intersection points at which pairs of opposite sides meet would also meet on a straight line. Okay, so we're just going to start with a circle. And along the circumference of the circle, we're going to put 6 points. And it doesn't really matter where you put the points as long as there are 6. And I'll label them A, B, C, D, E, and F. Now we're going to draw 2 lines from one point to the opposite points. So from A to E, and A to D, from B to F, and B to D, from C to F, and C to E. And that's it. And if you did it correctly, you should see 3 of these X-looking intersection points. And if you draw a line straight through them, you'll find that they are in fact collinear. What you can also do is connect one point to the other, just like this. And then you'll find that it makes a hexagonal pattern. Jumping to 1642, Pascal was working with his father, assisting him with tax computation. To ease the tedious process, Pascal created the first mechanical calculator, known better as the Pascaline. However, due to high price and difficulty to use, it was kept primarily as a status symbol by European elite. Although Pascal was attributed with the invention, Wilhelm Schickard had devised a similar machine earlier in 1623, but failed to produce any functional models. In addition to geometry, Blaise Pascal was a pioneer of probability theory alongside Pierre de Fermat, which was an early precursor to game theory. Fun fact, the first incarnation of roulette was invented by Pascal during his attempts to develop a perpetual motion machine. On August 19, 1662, Blaise Pascal passed away, suffering from a myriad of health issues, possibly including tuberculosis and stomach cancer. In 1665, Pascal's treatise on the arithmetical triangle was published posthumously, and it presented a tabular model for binomial coefficients, which will later be dubbed Pascal's triangle.
So for Pascal's triangle, there's really only one rule you need to remember, and that is the next number is the sum of 2 numbers directly above it. So we're just at the top with 1. The next row will be 1 and 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And on the outside, we have 1 again because there's no number directly above it other than 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 again. Don't forget the 1's on the outside. 1 plus 3, 1 plus 3 is 4. 3 plus 3 is 6. Another 4. 1's on the outside. I'll do one more row. 1 plus 4 is 5. 4 plus 6 is 10. Do the same thing on the other side. And you just have to notice that it's actually symmetrical. So whatever's on the other side will be the same on the other side. So what is the practical use of this other than looking nice? Well, you can actually figure out the probability of heads or tails. So if you wanted to flip a coin 3 times and figure out the probability of a certain situation, you'll look at the third row. So for Pascal's triangle, the first row is 0, second row is 1, 2, 3. So this is actually the third row, and we'll just highlight that for now. So what are the possible combinations that you can get from flipping a coin 3 times? You can get all heads, you can get all tails, or you can get a combination of the two. So you can get heads, tails, heads, or heads, heads, tails, or tails, heads, heads. You can also get tails, heads, tails, 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 heads, and heads, tails, tails. And we can group these into 4 categories. We have all heads, we have all tails, and then we have 2 heads, 1 tail, and then 2 tails, 1 head. So 1, 1, 3, 3. We put it together, we get 1, 3, 3, 1, just as Pascal's triangle told us.
Despite his long list of contributions to mathematics, Pascal is perhaps most famous for his work as a philosopher, second only to René Descartes in the hierarchy of French minds. You've probably heard of Pascal's wager, which supported belief in God and living a virtuous life. Pascal's pragmatic argument boils down to, humans should play it safe and shouldn't wager their lives, as the consequences of not believing in God far outweigh the benefit. So here's a crude little table representation of Pascal's wager. On the top we have believe in God and don't believe in God. On the left we have God exists or God doesn't exist. And it works pretty much like a Punnett square. If we believe in God and God exists according to Pascal's wager, we receive infinite reward, which is essentially eternity in heaven. And if we don't believe in God and God exists, we receive infinite punishment. So basically eternity in hell. If we believe in God and God doesn't exist, you receive finite loss, which is the amount of time you spent worshiping and devoting your resources to that God. If you don't believe in God and God doesn't exist, then you receive finite gain, which is the amount of time you save not worshiping God. After looking at the table, it may seem reasonable to conclude that Pascal is right. Why choose a path that is high risk, low reward, when another low risk, high reward option is available? However, he portrays it in an entirely black and white manner. Pascal oversimplifies complex situations, assuming that God must operate within Christian beliefs of heaven and hell, and that belief on its own is determinant of punishment versus salvation. When you break down the logic, the argument doesn't really have the trump card it claims to have.
I can't cover the entirety of Pascal's life and all of his works, but I've left a few links in the description if you want to do some further reading. This was a basic introduction to Blaise Pascal. Thank you for watching.